Welcome back, everyone, once again to a new installment of Screenplay Rewind. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron, and this is going to be an interesting podcast, Jeff, because we are both podcasting for Don King.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Jeff, gonna love. Doesn't even touch him, and the guy goes down.
This movie is dramatically funnier than I remembered it being.
You remember in comparison to the second one, when you watch it on its own in a hermetically sealed room.
It's fucking funny.
It's funny.
Really funny. But before we talk about Hot Shots,
dude, there's a character named Red Herring. Come on.
Dead meat. The dead meat thing.
Eyewitness.
So oh, your life insurance forms just came in. Oh, darn, my pin's not working.
You found the evidence you needed. It's big, honey. It goes all the way to the White House.
It goes all the way to the White House.
Don't look.
Oh my God, I love a good funeral.
Jumping Jesus, they're back.
when he throws the grenade like he's in a PUBG game, dude.
Why does he have a grenade? And why did he bring it to the funeral?
Fucking Lloyd Bridges. Absolutely. He would be on the Mount Rushmore for this podcast. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Gotta have Lloyd Bridges. I also love, I think we talked about this, but all of his photos for when he's younger he's like Christopher Lloyd. He was always old. Since even though he's young, he still has that that just super hilarious airplane era and Hot Shots era Lloyd Bridges was just always there, even when he looked young.
Always.
Love it so much. But before we talk about Hot Shots, I'd like how this entire podcast is just going to be us quoting one-liners from the movie, just pretty much like what we did with Airplane.
Fuck yes. And Spaceballs.
But we have some comments and questions.
It's super weird.
But they're there.
Engagement. Sunday.
All right. Do you have them pulled up? I assume you had them pulled up, but I don't.
I have the YouTube comments pulled up. Yes, sir.
Okay, good, because I did not.
Engagement.
Very one-sided.
Oh, man. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5 comments on Furiosa, which was, dare I say it again, episode 100.
It's weird that we're recording 101. It's like they haven't shut down the channel yet. That's bizarre,
right? I would have.
Much to the chagrin of that one dude.
Almost 4 years, 101 episodes, 2 haters that have made themselves known.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good track record.
They got a Legion of Doom swamp meeting area.
Oh, man. Okay, let's see. I suppose I should start from the bottom because that's how YouTube shows the oldest one. The ever enigmatic Bobby, our producer, simply commented, "Whoa, 100!"
Whoa.
Which I would say, whoa. 100.
Whoa, 100 too many.
Which I'm curious. There's 3 likes. There's you, there's me, there's Bobby. Did he like his own?
I hope Bobby likes all of his own comments because he is a dedicated producer. We gotta get them fucking thumbs ups, dude. Even if they come from my own comments.
I like the idea that if anybody likes his first, he'll go like his own.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? And then
I think it is absolutely hysterical that all of these various social media platforms and YouTube and shit let you like your own comment. Like you're a fucking it's like a sociopath watch list. Like,
have you ever liked your own comment or tweet on anything?
I've never liked one of my own posts.
I think I did on accident on Twitter once. I don't remember what it was. I was trying to quote it so I could say something else on top of it. And I remember just being like, that's too fucking late now, and just left it.
Just loved it.
So I think I have one tweet
It's like, oh
of
yeah,
my own
wait,
that I like.
I am fucking awesome. I'm gonna leave that
Oh,
there.
yeah, I almost forgot. I am fucking great.
I'm the fucking best, man.
Then I guess he comments in real time, being as enigmatic as he is. Because then the next comment comes from Bobby as well. I got a promotion. So
To which I replied,
the ever enigmatic
the-
executive producer is your official
yeah,
title.
he's the triple EP.
That's a long nameplate or some small font. I'm not sure. The guy that has to go
triple EP
around painting
himself.
all of our names on our doors is not gonna like that title.
The guy who has to go around liking all of his own posts. I think Bobby will enjoy it.
And then he explained this in a text message, right? The gioken thing.
That's yes, he did. Yeah, we actually got confirmation. The mystery is solved.
Because I've
didn't.
I've already forgot. I was part of that conversation, but I already forgot what it was. But me, Ron Goose, and Giokin later this year, new Alien movie, Book It, which I'm fucking down for.
Absolutely. I'm so hyped for that movie.
We might give that the Furiosa treatment. Go the week it comes out, and then
live Q&A sessions, baby.
Welcome back to Screenplay Rewind.
Welcome back, everyone, to an involuntary audience reaction.
I'm sure no one else finds this as funny as we do. I think it's fucking hysterical. The idea you're just sitting in a movie theater minding your own damn business and the lights dim. You just hear someone start a podcast at 3 rows behind you.
And it's not even a good one. That's the cherry on top.
It's not like Cinema Sins or Junk Food Cinema or something.
Yeah. It ranges from bad to mediocre on a good day. But yeah, we got confirmation it was Jekin because he was saying basically, like, what is it, like a portmanteau of me and Walken? Because I spent half that one episode as Walken, and I don't remember why. Why was I doing a Walken impersonation for a recent episode? Was he in one of our recent movies or something? I don't remember.
No, it was... You kept going back into Walken mode because you were either tired or hopped up on sugar and caffeine or whippets or something. I don't remember. There's something we found out, some state you get in that you just go full Walken.
I think we were talking about like Walken being in the movie we were talking about, and then I intentionally did the impersonation, and then eventually I was so tired. Yeah, it was like fucking Austin Butler having to go get vocal lessons to not speak like Elvis anymore.
It's on the 13th Warrior was where it shows up.
Gotcha. I vaguely remember the conversation.
I think we went into Sleepy Hollow or something.
I think so. So that sounds right. We were running through like various Walken movies and what we would like to see Walken in.
Of course, in a movie he's not in.
I think. Yeah. I mean, it's always a good time to talk about Walken, dude.
Next comment is from a great fucking online handle at Forum Icebreaker.
Nice.
That's a good name. Great points across the board. I couldn't agree more.
Thank you. I'm gonna reply to it and then make sure I like my own reply.
You did, actually. You didn't like it.
I mean, the night. There you go. Night's still young. I just liked it in real time.
But yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
We got a fucking hell of a comment from RDS2929. Dude, I couldn't agree more with this one.
This is the most like. Did I have an alt account? Like, this is, you know, that, like, you remember that like J.K. Simmons show where he has like the various versions of him in the different realities or whatever? Like I think Counterpart was the name of it.
Yeah.
This is me in a different reality. Like I could not agree more with this.
It has to be from a different reality because the profile picture's a cat, and that wouldn't be you.
Yeah, it's me with the mustache from the mirror dimension.
You the goatee.
Mm.
Thank fuck George Miller owns the rights to Mad Max. I just pray he takes it to the grave with him so Warner Brothers can't hire Zack Snyder or Michael Bay to ruin any future sequels. People reveling in the box office failure of Furiosa because it's a woke girl boss movie is kind of depressing because it ain't. I'm adding the inflection. Anyway, I enjoyed your discussion. Cheers. Well, cheers to you, mate.
Yeah, we appreciate the comment. I also am so glad that we talked about in the episode about how George Miller owns the rights, so we can potentially get more of that franchise because somebody else will fucking absolutely make another one. It's just a matter of time if Warner Brothers selects to pass on it. And unfortunately, if they did own the rights to it, we would be in the future see it handed off to someone that has no business. Because like, there's been a lot of conversation about people really wanting like Mel Gibson to have a comeback as this character, and a lot of that like a lot of that box office failure, like people like really shit talking this movie because of like having like the the lady protagonist and whatnot. But it's just like, first of all, we already talked about how fucking Fury Road had a female protagonist. Y'all are just too stupid to realize that Mad Max wasn't the main character of that movie. And also, Mel Gibson to me was never like he was Mad Max, but George Miller is the face of this franchise to me, not
pretty much
Mel Gibson. So I don't get it. I do not
to
get
me,
it.
Mel Gibson is not as synonymous with Mad Max as like Stallone is with Rocky or Schwarzenegger is with the Terminator. To me, it doesn't matter who really plays Mad Max, to
me, Mel Gibson is more synonymous with Lethal Weapon.
That's what I think of also.
Yeah, like I way
too
more
old
associate.
for this shit.
And no, and I'm not shit talking those old Mad Max movies. I really liked them, especially the Road Warrior. I liked them a lot, and he's pretty good in them. I mean, he's a fucking psychopath, but I have liked Mel Gibson in a few movies. But yeah, the conversation around Furiosa and people just shit talking it and kind of like piling on with the lack of box office success it's really depressing, and it's just like people kicking it while it's down, which is a shame because it's a good fucking movie. It's a really good movie.
But Jeff, it deserves the low box office numbers. She's a woman, she's not in a kitchen, and she's driving. What the fuck is happening in this movie?
That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
What is the world coming to? That would be a wasteland.
I fucking hate all of those people that have that type of reaction to it. It's like, just seriously, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the worst.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. It especially angers me as the father of a daughter. Like, yeah, I want her to see this type of shit on screen. I want her to see like women of power on screen.
And especially, it's like you're gonna shit talk like Fury Road and Furiosa. It's like, Furiosa, who is an amazing character. It's not.
She's great.
She's awesome. Literally every actress they've had playing that character at every stage of of her as like the little kid, and her as Anya Taylor-Joy, and obviously like Charlize Theron. It's like they're all fucking great. So like, why are you shit talking this movie? He's like, fuck off, dude. It's a good movie. And it's a bummer that it is not doing great at the box office. But
how do you think the conversation would change if the villain of both movies was a woman and not a woman against a man? With also featuring Mad Max?
These types of people will move the goalposts to whatever thing they want to move it to, just to have a shitty opinion they can put on their Twitter feed and then like their own posts. So I think no matter what, the people that are going to be shitty about this conversation, not even just this franchise, but every time this conversation comes up, these people are just the worst, and they're going to find something else to bitch about, and it's just never going to change because we don't, we just let people anonymously be toxic pieces of shit. And it's okay because we got fucking views, and we got comment and traction and like reactions and shit on our social media platforms, so it's okay. It's ridiculous.
The views, Jeff, the hits,
man.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, it's a bummer, but I hope in the future we see more of that character because I really liked Furiosa, and yeah.
It is really difficult for me to put myself in the mindset of someone that is just so limited in scope. Like anyone that is sexist or racist or like, my God, it's a gay person. Like I can't. What does it matter?
It doesn't affect you.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Why the uproar?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
I don't
also,
get it.
like, how do you live that way? Like, it reminds me of everything that you read and hear about, like, H.P. Lovecraft's life, how he was just locked in his house all the time because he was so afraid of the
Pretty
world.
much.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just, how can you live that way? I mean, you're going to give yourself stomach cancer and die.
Well, that would be the first useful thing they did.
Oh, zing.
Yep. Did we have any additional comments? I forget.
That is all I found.
Yeah, I think that's all we had. Thanks everyone for commenting. We really appreciate the feedback.
And thanks for everyone who's been joining us over the last few weeks. The podcast
welcome.
itself, I mean, makes sense. There's nothing there to really help us except word of mouth. So it's growing at a very slow crawl, but the YouTube is exploding.
Yeah, we welcome everyone that has joined over the last few weeks. And thanks again for participating. If you have any questions or comments that you would like discussed by Ron and myself on the show, we do this at the beginning of every episode. You can email us, screenplayrewind@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SPRFilmcast.
So
make sure you like your own comment. And on the YouTube comments, we will read them as well.
They're not going to hear this because you record your own audio and I record my own audio separate. But the Discord blipped a little bit when you said the email address, and it sounded like Screenplay Rewind at gmail.com, which almost certainly exists. I don't know what it would be.
I don't want to Google that.
Is that our spinoff podcast? We just watch Pornhub and review the videos.
No, it's too many female protagonists, man. I can't do that. Oh shit.
Dude. Oh, we can't. We have to move on. That was too good.
Bring it full circle. Bring it full circle.
That was too good. I've got nothing else to say.
I got the worst look in the universe from Aurora for that one. So
but it's out of context. She can't blame you. Oh, it's amazing.
What were we talking about?
I don't even remember.
I'm still being glared at right now. Hot shots.
Let's
talk some fucking hot shots. What made you want to have hot shots on the show?
What doesn't make me want to have hot shots on the show, man? I don't know, I just figured it was time. It's something you and I refer to every once in a while. It's something we both enjoy. We've done 100 episodes and we haven't covered. Let's see. We covered Mel Brooks movies. Have we covered? I guess Airplane. We've covered.
Yeah, we covered Airplane. We covered Bobby picks Spaceballs for one of the Friends and Family months.
But
so we've covered a few.
Out of all the movies that we refer to or that we quote or anything, like there's not enough of them. We've only got 2 of them on the channel.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we've done 100 episodes. There are a lot of movies like this that it's shocking that we didn't have in the first 100.
Right. Also, this is just one of those comfort movies for me. This is another one like The 13th Warrior that me and my dad fucking loved, and my mom rolled her eyes at the entire time. A lot of great memories of just watching this movie with my dad and just laughing our asses off. This is one of the, you know how I've often talked about on this channel that my dad would watch like 2 movies or more at once, and just when something went to commercial would flip away and then flip back whenever that one went on commercial. This and 13th Warrior and Hot Shots Part 2. Those are 3 movies that the channel went to it and it stayed there until the movie was over.
I'm just scrolling on the IMDB page and I found the Hot Shots Part 2 with the fucking the poster with the chicken, and I am so tempted right now to make that chicken my Twitter profile picture because it is just genius.
Oh,
I fucking love it. There's so many more sequences from the second movie that are like ingrained in my brain. But we talked about a little bit at the very beginning of the show today that this movie holds up. There's a few moments where it's like every comedy we're ever going to cover before the year of like 2015 is going to have shit that is like not okay because some of the opposing fighter pilots in this movie are a little bit problematic.
And the reservation, the Native Americans language.
Yeah, that too. But it's 30 years ago. You got to forgive it a little bit. But
You walk him and you pitch to the rhino. You are serious. I forgot about the ongoing joke through both movies that Ramada is full of awful jokes.
I fucking forgot Carrie Elwes was even in this movie.
Oh no, he's the Val Kilmer role.
Yeah, is it Goose? Is that Val Kilmer's character?
I
haven't seen Top
believe.
Gun.
I've never seen Top Gun, but
I think I saw Top Gun, but it was 1,000 years ago. I remember nothing about Top Gun.
oh my god, this movie, man. I'm just scrolling through the quotes right now. I could easily make this.
Oh, Goose was the guy that died at the beginning. Val Kilmer is Ice, the Iceman. That's right.
Iceman. Okay, that was. I don't believe they say it in the movie, but in the prequel novel to the 2007 Transformers movie, that is the code name for Megatron because they found him in the ice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my association with Iceman. Not the X-Man.
Nope.
Not Bobby.
Not Bobby.
Not Bobby. Iceman. Enigmatic.
I love, just a quick side note, that they took the time to fucking list Charlie Sheen not only as Topper Harley but also as Rhett Butler and Superman. That's so fucking stupid to give him partial credits for what are like 30-second Family Guy jokes, and the fact that we'll talk about the credits of this movie are ingenious too. Where they have like the fucking food
so many
recipes. So many recipes, and like no one has thought to do that before.
Did you see the line at the end of the credits?
Yeah, where if you left at the beginning of these credits, you'd be home by now. Or whatever. I love it.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
fucking love it. Yeah, so let's run through the cast and crew. Spoilers for Hot Shots. If you like
for Hot Shots, that's a thing you just said.
I mean,
Top Gun is spoilers for Hot Shots.
I mean, we're gonna fucking directly quote every single joke in the 85-minute movie. So I'm trying to let people enjoy some of the jokes instead of just having them relayed by us poorly. But this was directed and co-written by Jim Abrahams, who was, I believe he had the same roles with Airplane, right, where he was both a co-director and a co-writer on it. Yes. Yeah, he was a co-director and a co-writer with the Zucker brothers for Airplane. And you could absolutely tell that because Hot Shots just has fucking Airplane DNA all over it with the way the comedy is set up, where the direction to have pretty much every actor say every line with a straight face. It is very Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, this man is single-handedly responsible for all of my sense of humor. Like my entire like childhood growing up watching movies. All the shitty choices I have made for movies on this podcast, you can thank this man for, because I like schlock. I like anything considered awful by people. I am there, and it is because of this man, I believe. Oh man,
I was shocked. Now, like I agree with the good score because I think this movie's pretty funny and way more solid than you remember it being. This had like an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, which was surprising to me. I was expecting Hot Shots to have like a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What was Spaceballs?
It's really high.
Spaceballs was really low.
We got really mad about Spaceballs because Spaceballs was like a 50.
And
I don't understand. Like, where are you drawing the line in the sand with the comedy?
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken.
Yeah, Hot Shots is 82%. I will fact check.
Oh, hang on. Didn't we cover Blazing Saddles also?
No, we haven't covered Blazing Saddles.
We haven't covered Blazing Saddles?
No.
Oh.
52% for Spaceballs. Which is a fucking shame.
That's a travesty.
97% for Airplane.
Oh my god.
Now, I love Airplane. But the math doesn't add up. Like, why is Airplane 97 and Spaceballs 52?
I don't know. That is so weird.
To me,
they're on the same plane.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
They're on such a similar scope when it comes to the the comedy. It's a little bit different because there is that very, very specific straight faced
Yeah.
type of comedy going, which maybe that is the element of it that like really works for critics, but that doesn't make any sense to me if how you have such a huge difference between these three movies, you know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
the interesting thing about these movies, this crop of movies, is Jim Abrams or Abrahams, whatever, is he responsible in any way for any of the Naked Gun movies as well?
Yes.
Okay, so any of those movies, Airplane, Hot Shots, the thing that is great about them, I was talking to Chris about this earlier. Everyone in the movie is the straight man. Like, no one is in on the joke. This is the world. This is life. This is every day. I've seen Leslie Nielsen's style of humor and his delivery, his like comedic delivery and timing. I've heard that was attributed to his roles in soap operas, that's where he picked that up. And I think that's a good analogy for all of these type movies. They are given with like soap opera style deliveries, all of them.
Yeah.
Like it is the most serious thing in the world. And as soon as they have a fucking serious ass conversation, Charlie Sheen walks outside to the hallway and gets electrocuted to the point you see his skeleton. Like, or one of the pilots chases a duck that sounds a lot like a cross between Donald Duck and Daffy Duck.
I love all of the bullshit that happens on the aircraft carrier too. There's like a handicap spot where they're trying to park and shit. It's great.
And the guy in the wheelchair rolls up. Have you no decency?
So the interesting thing, it doesn't look like he worked on the movies, but where Jim Abrahams comes into play with the Naked Gun franchise is he created Police Squad.
Oh, yes.
So he created it pretty much. He just, for whatever reason, wasn't involved with the movie. Probably because he was busy. It looks like they were happening at the exact same time that Hot Shots was.
Okay.
So I don't think he can make them both. So it looks like he kind of switched to work on Hot
Police
Shots.
Squad ran like 12 episodes and was canceled or something. And it was this type of movie, but in an episodic format, which I guess was probably just too much. I don't know. It didn't get an audience, but they took that concept and made the Naked Gun movies out of it. Leslie Nielsen is even playing the same character. So it's the same character from in Police Squad and Naked Gun.
It's it's interesting. Did you ever see Top Secret?
I never did.
I did, but I saw it so long ago that I was probably not old enough to even understand like some of the jokes that were being made.
Right.
So I'm curious to revisit that one.
Real quick before we move on from it, I do want to say anyone listening should go look up. You can look up the intro to Police Squad on YouTube. It's like maybe a minute long, if that.
It's
long.
Really good.
Not only is it really good, and not only is that music going to be stuck in your head all day. It is full of every single police show trope, all in like a 1 minute hit. So every time it introduces a character and the like actor's name pops up, they immediately enter a gunfight out of nowhere. They're even inside the police station, people just mind their own business and just a gunfight erupts. But the real great thing, it's not a mistake when you watch it. Every single episode opening will have the guest starring, and it'll be a real life legit actor that was huge at the time. But they're only in the opening, not in the episode, and they're just the corpse that falls out of the car, and that's it. They're not anywhere else in the episode. And then the other thing the thing I was saying that's not a mistake, the title of the episode that comes up on screen will not match what the narrator says the episode title is. They're two different things. So the text will be one title, and then the narrator says a completely different title. Oh, it's so good.
I fucking love. I've just been browsing the quotes from this movie to remember scenes to talk about, and I love that someone took the time to write out all the individual lines of dialogue of am not R2, am not R2.
You're acting like children. I'm not.
I think Carrie Elwes was a good choice for this type of role too, because he's
And-
very good about holding like. I don't understand how they were able to film some of the scenes in this movie with a straight face.
I don't know how they filmed any of them with a straight face.
How do they do the fucking helium scenes without laughing?
That's some great helium.
Like, how on earth? This movie is 85 minutes long. They probably had to reshoot so many of these scenes because people broke character. They probably had like 3 hours worth of material as far as like what could have been deleted.
What
scenes.
I would like to know, how much of it is like improv? Because you've got some improv actors in here.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just kind of depends on, because there's probably like a little bit of a difference between Jim Abrahams and the Zucker brothers as far as like how they were having because there's a little bit of a different flavor to this versus like Top Secret was Abrahams with the Zucker brothers again, just like with Airplane. So it's like there's a lot of the same DNA as Airplane, but it is a little bit different. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to have like a commentary about this and just kind of like see how much he gave them free reign with that. I'm not sure.
There's a point that we made in Airplane that I want to reiterate when we finish the cast, because oh my god, these fucking movies, man. I am like crying over here just reading some of the quotes.
What I wouldn't give to be 20 years younger.
And a woman. First of all, many of you are probably wondering what's wrong with my pants. Like, what?
You know, I've personally flown over 194 missions and I was shot down on every one. Come to think of it, I've never landed a plane in my life.
Oh, I slipped on a crab, so I don't see any crab there. Don't tell me there were two crabs. They work in pairs.
I fucking love Lloyd Bridges so much. He can say just about fucking anything and I'll laugh, even if he's not trying to be funny. He just has such a great sense of timing that I fucking laugh constantly.
It's amazing.
Let's see. So what are your thoughts? Let's go through the cast. By the way, Pat Proft was also the co-writer with this, along with
and by the way, hi Pat.
And the rest. Let's see. I'm curious. So Pat Proft would go on to continue the kind of tail end of this entire genre and write the screenplays for Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4, and Scary Movie 5.
No.
So you can tell the whole kind of straight-facedness did not come from Pat Proft, because that part of the thing, we talked about this multiple times, part of the thing that killed the entire parody genre of these movies trying to ape stuff like Airplane and Hot Shots was all the actors eventually became in on the joke, and then the whole fucking movie falls apart when that happens. Because I remember that being like a big thing with pretty much the last like 10 years of parodies before they officially fucking died.
There's only one moment in this movie where Charlie Sheen looks directly into the camera, and it is amazing. But I feel like that's all they do in the Scary Movie franchise.
They're not good.
It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but even worse.
It's like the Saturday Night Live sketch that is immediately forgotten as soon as they finish the scene.
Yeah.
You know how like there's some, you know, they have like some SNL sketches that are just immediately fantastic and they go viral on YouTube and shit, and so many more that people just fucking forget ever happened. So
they're you can tell that they completely misunderstood why these movies were funny, because like we have all of your character tropes of the Top Gun type genre in this movie, right? Everyone in here embodies a trope, and it's fucking written on their helmet what those tropes are. Like John Cryer is washout, right? You got dead meat, you got eyewitness.
The eyewitness thing is so fucking
the eyewitness
genius.
one was so good. But all their names and stuff, you have every character trope. But in like the Scary Movie franchise, the character trope is like, oh, the nervous, like super scared guy. Isn't it funny that I scream and run into a wall? Or, oh, I'm a black woman. Look how loud I can scream. Like, it's really
Yeah.
shallow. And here, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking say it. The point that we made in Airplane, or that I was gonna make in Hot Shots also, is that these movies, even without the comedy, work as just a good movie also. Like, it's the way they are structured. Everything has like a natural flow to it. Like, there's a good movie in here first, and then all the comedy is layered on top of it. Whereas like the Scary Movie franchise and stuff, they're just starting from, let's see how many people we can have scream and fall down the stairs and then look into the camera and make a face.
It's just a series of non sequitur Family Guy jokes, but not good ones.
Right.
And then they're just all stitched together. I think what is a huge boost to the quality of stuff like Airplane and Hot Shots as well is, like we talked about it, this movie's fucking 85 minutes long. I love movies that are short like that because you don't have enough time. Like there's a fucking joke a minute, usually multiple in a minute,
and
like
there's a variety of them. Some are visual gags, some are double entendres or innuendos, but sometimes the scene couldn't be more serious. You just have fucking military guys dancing in the background, right? Like
dude, when they're singing the Brady Bunch theme and shit in the background. I love it.
It was so off that, like, Chris was playing a game on her computer while I was watching it, and it was so off that it wasn't until they said this is the story about a man named Brady that she like blinked and looked over at the screen like, what? Because
it's so good.
Again, it's a joke that just kind of blends into the background while being front and center at the same time. And it's not played for laughs. It's a joke, but it's not played for laughs. And the Scary Movie franchise and everything that it birthed, they literally, like, it feels like they wait for the audience to applause or something. Like, it's real strange.
Yeah, like, there isn't ever a joke that is just, given time to really breathe. What they do is, it's like every time there's a punchline, you're gonna be fucking damn sure you heard the punchline. Like they're make every
drive it home.
They really they sell past the close constantly on their jokes in those movies. I find it interesting, like when you look back on how rare it is to see a genre literally die. Like this one. Like parodies it's a shame because like some of our favorite movies of all time fall into this category, like Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein. There's so many classics in this genre, but because usually like genres just kind of like fall out of fashion, like with westerns. But every now and then a new western comes out. It's never truly dead. Eventually the MCU is going to grind to a halt, and we're not going to see any superhero movies for a while. But I think they're going to come back. I don't think it's going to be fully dead. I don't know if parodies are ever coming back. I think that entire sense of humor that made these work is just like lost to time. It's a shame. But what do you think? Do you think parodies will ever come back?
I don't think it'll come back as a genre. I think you see it from time to time in other movies as like a component of the movie, not necessarily the entire point of the movie. I think they will parody characters or character tropes or things.
Like Hot Fuzz, I think is a good example of that.
Hot Fuzz is a great example of that. Because
Edgar Wright actually understands, because if they, like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz fall in line just with what you were saying about how they're a good movie, and then the humor and like the parody of it is a layer to it. It's not.
Yeah, it's gonna become a component and be integrated in. So I don't think it can go. I don't think it can go away because the people that are writing those type movies, like your Edgar Wrights and so on, they grew up watching this shit too. Like this is part of their DNA, like it is yours and mine. So
it's just they're so rare because like those main examples, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, are now 20 and 15 years old.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I think even like looking back at like some of the stuff that like Edgar Wright has done, it's like Scott Pilgrim has a lot of this style of humor baked into its DNA, but at the same time, it is that type of humor, but it's not exactly like a parody, really.
I mean, it's parodying video games.
It's just, it's interesting. There's like a gray area to this entire genre that is so different from other stuff that I think it's interesting to look back on.
Yeah.
And just to see like the fucking decline from Hot Shots and Hot Shots 2 to like the latter end of the scary movies.
Yeah.
And the fucking Meet the Spartans people just holy shit. Making damn sure the parody movies never come back to life.
Driving all the jokes home just like the nails in the coffin.
Yeah.
What's your take? I know we've gotten through like one or two names in the credits, but real quick, what is your take on like the Police Academy movies? Because I feel like those are real hit and miss when I lump these in with your Hot Shots and your Airplanes.
See, my dad likes the Police Academy movies a lot. I've seen them, but this was one of those where I think I watched them like too young to where I could fully appreciate the humor in them, because I don't really remember them very much.
The sad thing
they weren't ones that stuck with me.
The sad thing is some of the humor in it is not going to age very well for the exact reason it shouldn't. Like, it falls into like a lot of like tropes and stereotypes that are not very good. Like, there is a African American lady that speaks with a really tiny voice until you make her angry, right? But there's also stuff in there where it, like, there's people that are saying she can't do it or can't make it because she's a woman or because she's black, or Hightower, which is literally the fucking biggest man you've ever seen, who is so big that he literally rips the front seat out of the car and throws it away and sits in the back seat and drives the car from the back seat. He's just a big African American man that anytime someone's being racist to her, he just walks up behind her and stares at them, and they all slowly back away. So, like, you know, it's kind of like Blazing Saddles. There's like some of the racism points in it. The point is the fact that racism is stupid, but also at the same time, it does it in a way that doesn't exactly age well. It doesn't do it as well as like Blazing Saddles does.
Nobody handles the type of humor in these movies better than Mel Brooks. Like, he had such a good handle on even.
Well,
so like
he is like, Jewish, so like he's been through some of it.
The fact that he made Blazing Saddles,
man,
and wasn't canceled as of like 5 years ago tells you all you need to know, that he like really fucking deftly handled that movie when it should not have been able to happen.
You can't make that movie today, and that movie is so important.
Yeah,
that movie is so important. But yeah, I think the Police Academy movies, I watched the first 2 or 3 of them again a few years ago. I think they hold up pretty well overall. I think we should get at least the first one on the channel at some point.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be down to watch it again. I have no point of like reference for it at all, because I just don't remember anything at all. I remember like a few of the actors, but I don't remember any. It just wasn't one that stuck with me. You know, like it wasn't like even watching Spaceballs like fairly young. The humor of that, especially being with just like these movies that it's homaging and parodying and everything that I'm so familiar with, it stuck with me. But Police Academy, it just went in one ear and out the other. But I'd be open to revisiting it just to see if you think it's worthy of a review.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's probably as solid as like a Hot Shots would be or an Airplane, but it has kind of the same structure where you've got your archetypes, but they are multi-layered archetypes like these characters are, and they like, you know, like I said, like when they trick the 2 guys into going into the gay bar or whatever, like it both is like making fun of them for being homophobic, but at the same time, the gay bar is full of people that look like they're from the Village People, which is not a good thing. So it walks the line and has a few missteps when it does it, but overall, I think like it's one of those movies that like its heart is in the right place with that type stuff, but it's also playing into like the tropes of the time. So, but I
Yep.
overall I think they're very funny and they're worth watching still. I was just curious because like I said, there are people that fucking love Mel Brooks or fucking love all these Abrams movies that just fucking hate Police Academy, and I don't get it. I don't get it. They're not as solid, but they're still good.
I think there is like a well, people are apparently just like completely like missing the point. Like fucking Spaceballs being as lowly reviewed as it was is weird.
What's Blazing Saddles at?
I will check.
Yeah, do you have it up? Because I don't.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Also got
Blazing
really
Saddles 89%.
Blazing Saddles at 89%.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, there's a whole scene where maybe half of the dialogue is just the N-word. I mean, that's the point, right? Is like how awful it is to do that and how stupid racism is. Like the N-word is the point of that scene. But my God, it has, what'd you say? I already forgot the numbers. I'm tired. 89%. Holy shit. What an important movie.
I just think that I think when you are dealing with the genre of parody and these types of movies, I think they are going to be like all over the place. I think they're going to be all over the place in kind of like critical reception versus like Gen Pop's reception of them. There does seem to be like a little bit of a difference in the style of humor, even though they were both kind of like parodies, because like Police Academy doesn't seem to be as much of like a farce as something as like Hot Shots 2. Like I think those are, from what I remember of Police Academy, like they don't seem to be like in the same kind of vein. Because Hot Shots Part 2, he fucking shoots a chicken as a bow and arrow. Like we're not dealing with that in Police Academy.
Police Academy has something to say about the police and the way that they're trained and the way that they treat minorities, and it's coming at the police, but it's coming at the police in there's both good cops and bad cops. Which I don't know. I don't know how much I agree with that anymore. If you read the news.
that also throws like a whole other bit of fucking fire on it.
Yeah, but it's got a lot to say about police and how they interact with public and training and stuff like that. Because there's your fucking meatheads, and then there's your people that are like, come on, just fucking back off.
I like how Reno 911 is like what you get when you mix like Hot Shots and Police Academy, because it's like it's making fun of cops like that, but then it's just like pure fucking farce. I don't know. Have you ever seen Reno 911?
I saw some of it. Wasn't a big fan.
Wasn't a fan of it.
Mm-mm.
It's not for everybody, but I remember seeing some pretty funny clips. To me, it was one of those where it was kind of like Always Sunny, where you have like some episodes of it where it's just not really gonna land very well, but like when it hits fucking hard, and it's really, really funny.
What's your take on fucking Super Troopers?
I liked it back in the day, but I haven't seen it in a very long time.
The movie fucking angers me.
What was it? Just like the style of comedy that you didn't like on it?
Yeah, it's just so annoying.
Snosberries taste like snosberries. What are your thoughts on Charlie Sheen in this? And like I guess it's Charlie Sheen in general, because Charlie Sheen has had such a fucking weird roller coaster ride of a life.
Here's the thing.
I think he's really fucking funny in this.
I mean, until either A, lost his mind or revealed that he never had one. Not sure which one. I fucking loved Charlie Sheen, man.
I like Charlie Sheen a lot too. Like in his older movies, I like him a lot.
He's a comedic genius, and what some people may not be aware of, what makes these movies even better that it's Charlie Sheen, is he had already done movies before these that he is this guy. He's this fucking super serious guy, but for realsies. And then he's just playing those characters again in these movies, but for comedy. And he's great in both styles.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
I haven't seen Major League in years, but I mean, come on, he was great.
I really liked Major League back in the day when I watched it. I haven't watched it in a while.
I know
though.
you didn't watch it much, but 2.5 Men, which is kind of at the end of the era of Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
He was still fucking had it, man. He was
yeah.
literally paid to just be Charlie Sheen on a sitcom set.
He was paid like $2 million a fucking episode to be Charlie Sheen, which is ridiculous.
To be shown, his name is
yeah.
fucking Charlie in the show.
Yeah,
And he was fucking great. And then he killed the show as well as his career. And John Cryer is his brother in that. And like, I already love John Cryer from this movie.
Do you think Hot Shots is like what led to John Cryer being in 2.5 Men?
I'm pretty sure this is where they became buddies, because I thought they were friends.
I'm assuming
in real
this
life.
is I'm assuming this is where they became friends, and it's like all those years later he wanted to work with them again. It makes sense.
But yeah, I fucking loved Charlie Sheen until all the tiger blood and his teeth started falling out.
Dude just publicly lost his fucking mind.
He already had problems. I don't know if it was like Robert Downey Jr. level or worse, but he already had problems here and there. But I mean, Jesus Christ. And like, we were all just glued to our TVs waiting to hear if Charlie Sheen is dead yet or not. Like,
yeah, it was pretty fucking crazy there for a minute. He seems to have kind of like fallen off the face of the earth over the last few years, because I don't even remember the last thing I saw him in.
I've been expecting him to show up and be this version of Charlie Sheen in commercials, like fucking Gary Busey did with like, I love this lamp and stuff like that in fucking whatever commercials he's been doing. But he hasn't shown up like at all. I guess no one will work with him.
I mean, I can't exactly blame them, because
I forget his name, but
lost his fucking mind.
The guy that created 2.5 Men, like, he's up there with like Dick Wolf. Like, I feel like if you work with them and piss off someone that has a fucking sitcom empire, you're probably just not working anymore.
There was a period of time where 3/4 the fucking popular sitcoms were from his library. It was kind of nuts.
Yeah, what is...
I actually watched I think I watched probably more 2.5 Men than I remember, because I remember my family being really into it, and it went on for a very long time.
It wasn't anything special. You tuned in for John Cryer and Charlie Sheen, and was it Conchata Ferrell, however you say her name, the housekeeper, Berta? You tuned in for them, and I fucking tuned in for goddamn Jane Lynch. Jane Lynch is his therapist that he goes and
I
see.
forgot she was in that.
Oh my god, she was incredible on that show. Ryan Stiles showed up time and time again. Chuck Lorre is the guy's name I'm looking for. Like, Chuck Lorre is probably second to Dick Wolf in the number of TV shows he's developed and sitcoms and stuff that he's done. And Charlie Sheen went to war with him publicly.
Oh yeah,
and then
it was
fucking disappeared.
It was brutal,
That's not
dude.
a coincidence.
But yeah, it is one of those things where it's always kind of in the back of my mind. It's a fucking bummer what happened with Charlie Sheen, because I really liked him in a lot of his early movies.
It just made me sad to watch it.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because the dude was legitimately talented.
He was great. Do you remember?
Yeah.
This is part deux again. I quoted part deux at the end of the last episode, and this is part deux. But when him and fucking what's his dad, Martin Sheen, passed each other on the boats down the river, and they both just nod to each other, and then they both call back, "I loved you in Wall Street."
Oh man. So we mentioned earlier. By the way, Carrie Elwes and Charlie Sheen both reprising appearances on our podcast, because we had Carrie Elwes on Princess Bride.
That's true.
And obviously we had Charlie Sheen on Three Musketeers,
which he did shortly after part deux, like 1 or 2 years after part deux.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aramis.
Also, a movie I really like Charlie Sheen in is the Three Musketeers movie. I really liked all those guys.
Because he's fucking legit talented, and it's so sad to just lose him like that,
Yeah, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
to lose someone that, I don't think it was cocaine.
Oh, I think it was everything you can fucking imagine all at the same time, dude. Everything Everywhere All at Once was the Charlie Sheen life for there for a minute.
Yeah, God, to lose somebody that is literally still with us is terrible.
Right. It is unfortunate. I really like Carrie Elwes in this movie a lot. I think he has great the scene when he's shaking his hand
and crushing
and it becomes like fucking Gumby hand and it's just like clay.
The amount of charisma that Carrie Elwes just oozes at all times. He has to be like, I don't know anything about him. I've never seen him in an interview or anything. He strikes me as like he would be a really nice, likable guy, but God, can he play a douchebag?
He really can. But at the same time, like he can turn around and play just super, super likable. And it's like even when he's an asshole, he's like a lovable asshole, you know?
Yeah, you can't help but like him even when you're not supposed to.
Yeah, he's great. So, Valeria Golino.
Good job.
What else do I know her from? Because I associate her with this, but I feel like I know her from something else outside of this franchise, but I can't fucking figure out what it is. Do you remember anything else that she's been in as far as
I was literally
like what would be sticking out in the back of my mind?
I was literally telling Chris before we started that another podcast I listen to that does and some days they talk about like on this day so and so was born, or like on this day so and so died, or whatever. They came up on her birthday and talking about how they loved her in this show or in this movie or this thing, and none of them were hot shots. Like I literally only know her from these two movies.
And she's great.
She's in Escape from LA apparently.
Oh God. It looks like she pivoted to working with a lot of like movies in the Italian scene.
Yeah.
Because the last few years she's been in a shit ton of movies, but they appear to be Italian movies.
I don't know what Big Top Pee-wee is. Is that Pee-wee Herman?
Probably.
IMDb says that she's known for Big Top Pee-wee and 2 Hot Shots films.
I swear to fuck yeah, it's
especially,
been driving me nuts,
and I quote, especially the olive in the belly button scene.
Dude.
That sound effect was another one that made Chris blink and look over at the screen.
Some of the sound effects and the jokes in this movie are so stupid that they're incredible.
Oh God.
I love it. Yeah, I guess it's just Hot Shots.
When she holds up the bacon and he holds up the steaks.
Dude, that's that had me rolling. I forgot about that.
Have you ever been so hot for someone, Jeff, that they could cook breakfast on your stomach?
I mean, all the time. And that's like part of her like
it's like putting the hash browns down.
What is it? It's like little sizzling belly. Is that like her like
yeah, her
official
Native American
name at the end?
Indigenous name, yeah.
Yeah.
It means fluffy bunny feet. Oh,
is that the most iconic scene from these movies? Because it's that the entirety of this movie was boiled down to that scene in my memory, where that makes it like almost more memorable than like the stuff that happens in part 2 for me. It's just such a fucking iconic, hilarious scene.
I just love how in like, I don't know, the 80s, maybe early 90s, so many movies were obsessed with bringing food into sex. There were so many sex scenes involving food.
Oh my God.
They go through the whole goddamn fridge. When it starts with the grape, and you know it's kind of serious, and then it goes to
microwavable pizza,
and then it goes to the strawberry, and then you know again it's still kind of serious, maybe a little hot, and then he just rolls up a fucking pizza, and she eats it.
They fucking roll up a Totino's party pizza thing, and it is so gross. It made me not want pizza
on
forever.
That. Someone literally ate that pizza right into a microphone.
Oh fuck, dude! I don't think I can eat a pizza again. It's just so gross.
Oh God,
Jesus Christ!
Also, I am a little uncomfortable that her name in the second one is Ramada Rodham Hyman.
Yeah,
that's not great.
That's not okay.
But yeah, dude, I can't help but think of the hotel chain when I hear the name Ramada. So every time they say her name, I laugh. Oh God.
And then next up we have the fucking goat, Lloyd Bridges. I
Real
adore
quick,
Lloyd
did you realize
Bridges.
that she had something come out in 2024? Like, she's still working. She's got two.
That's what I was saying.
She's got two
been in
upcoming
a shit ton.
projects.
She's been in a shit ton of movies the past few years, but I think most of it was out of the countries because I didn't recognize them.
Fuck, dude. You realize that she's almost 60 now. God, that
Yeah, this
hurts.
movie is-
I
this
feel
movie's like-
old.
This movie's like 30 years old, right? Like what year was this? 91?
Yeah.
33?
She was born in 65, so she's like in her 20s in this movie.
The fucking the scene on the horse when she's doing dude, she does
She
gymnastics.
could murder a velociraptor.
That could dude, the fucking moves are almost the exact same moves they do in fucking in Jurassic Park 2. And my brain just immediately went to the gymnastically murdered velociraptors fucking instantly. As soon as there's just one particular gymnastics move that my brain is immediately teleported to the Lost World too.
The thing that that I love the most about that scene, when she's done, she gets back on the horse and then rides off. He watches her run off for a moment, but then he looks back at the tree and is just like, whew. like trying to imagine himself doing this.
I love it.
Him dancing on the back of the motorcycle, though, standing on the seat, it's pretty good.
Some fucking there's a few like solid pieces of stunt work in this movie too. Like the shit they do on that motorcycle. It's like even if it was up on like a the like like the stationary motorcycle things to put on the back of like a car.
Yeah.
Even if the setup was that, to balance on that while it's moving is a fucking feat.
I love how nobody dies in a plane crash in this movie.
Do you think you can save him? I don't know. I'm a pretty bad doctor.
Give me 100 cc's of morphine, and she turns and sticks it in his arm. Is his penis longer than mine? No, sir. You think you can say, I don't know, I'm a pretty bad doctor.
Dude, I'm in a hospital. What's the worst that could happen? And a
Smash
hard
cut to the funeral.
To the funeral is fucking next level, dude. I died laughing.
I love
so good.
I spent 10 years saving up this $2,500. Oh, and thanks to the $3 million I just won on this lucky lotto ticket, I can blow it all on hats.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, I've got the kids cleaning asbestos off the pipes.
This movie also has one of your all-time favorite gifs, which is Lloyd Bridges with the like handkerchief between his ears.
That should be everyone's all-time favorite gif.
It's pretty fucking good. I love the series.
All my favorite gifs involve Lloyd Bridges and aircraft control towers. Because he's either sniffing glue or he's running a handkerchief between his ears.
Dude, when he gets off the plane and then he just fucking splats on the ground, and I think that it's a close up of like Kevin Dunn, and everyone just winces as they see him at the ground.
Band watching him go down. The best part of that, though, is when they cut back to him, he's still just laying there face first on the ground. He hasn't even moved yet.
I fucking love Lloyd Bridges, man. He's so fucking funny.
And speaking of Kevin Dunn,
I forgot he was in this.
Forgot he was in this too. One of the most underrated character actors, would you say?
Yeah, I always really like. I even like him in the fucking Transformer movies.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the movies are terrible,
Godzilla.
but he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's been on our podcast too. He was in Godzilla. He was the military guy in charge of quarantining New York and taking down Godzilla. He wouldn't go look for the nest, remember?
Yeah, it's like with
he's almost exactly this character, which I think means Godzilla takes place in the Hot Shots universe.
He's also been in this podcast via Warrior because he is the principal in Warrior.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, so we've had him on a few things. But I like Kevin Dunn. I think he's got really good comedic timing. And It's a shame that probably his most famous role now is the Ted in Transformers when those movies are hot garbage. But
the reason
he's doing a good job.
The reason that works though is his delivery, because his delivery is gold, whether it's comedy or not. His delivery is so good.
It's interesting too how he can like perfectly embody that like high level military dude, and then be like an everyman like dad.
Yeah,
because typically the people that are looked at as being, oh, he's the dude who's always playing like the naval commander, etc., like the really high ranking military dude. That's all they ever do.
You endangered the lives of American soldiers. That's my job.
That's my job. Probably one of the biggest laughs in the movie for me is that line, because I fucking cracked up.
Well, he says it like "go fuck yourself," well, like a "go fuck yourself" tone. That's my job.
With John Cryer is also really funny in this.
Oh my god!
And
by the way,
camera effect.
One of the best Twitter follows is John Cryer.
John Cryer. What does he post about? I don't think I've ever followed.
Oh, dude, he could not be more anti-Trump.
Hell yeah.
He could not be more anti-everything right-wing, and he does not care. He's very vocal, and he is a goddamn national treasure. I did not watch Supergirl, but I heard that his Lex Luthor performance is fucking chilling. That like he's legit terrifying.
I watched I think a bit of Supergirl. I think I watched like the first couple of seasons, but I don't think I got to the seasons where he was on there.
My understanding is during those seasons he was the most terrifying character on TV, basically. Which is funny given his history with Superman. But yeah. John Cryer is fucking great at everything he does, and he is very underrated, I think, in everything.
My favorite thing about his character is the camera angle they have set up
that
for his
like fisheye camera lens.
It's really funny when they just have like Charlie Sheen just like staring into the fisheye.
When they do it on Red Herring.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
William O'Leary plays Dead Meat, and what the fuck has he just been in a million different movies? Because I know I've seen him in something else.
It's either that or he has just one of those faces. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
He's in NCIS. He's
doing a lot of TV. He's doing like a lot of TV lately. Keeping up that
Is that a gun in your pocket? Kamen Rider.
He has been in
35 episodes of Kamen Rider.
Oh, he was in Terminator 3.
Oh.
I did not remember him being in that.
Is he? No. Who is he in Terminator 3?
I liked how in the X-Files he is gas station man.
I was gonna say, if I ever do anything, Jeff, I'm gonna be credited as gas station man.
Gas station man.
That is great. Home Improvement.
I think it's just he's got one of those faces.
Wait, Marty Taylor, 30 episodes of Home Improvement. Who's Marty Taylor?
I don't fucking know.
What?
I forgot Home Improvement existed. I'm not gonna lie.
I liked that show before I realized that what's his face, Tim Allen, is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's kind of the worst. But we also there's so many of those fucking popular '90s sitcoms that my family loved and watched constantly.
Oh my god!
And do you remember
he's the dumb guy that worked for Tim Allen on his show on the show. Tool Time.
Oh, his little like sidekick guy.
No, not the bearded man, the dumb guy. I'm looking at a picture of him literally painting corrugated metal right now.
Yeah, not like his like partner, but like his like sidekick, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm looking at all these images. I had zero memory of him on this show, and all of a sudden I know exactly who he is.
Did you remember being in the dark ages where it was like, hey, if your family wanted to watch that super shitty sitcom, like you're fucking watching it because what the hell else are you gonna do?
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Like that was just my life. Is like my family fucking loved sitcoms, and they always loved the popular ones, even if they were cringy. So I have seen so many hundreds of hours of sitcoms from the 90s because there was something else to do. If y'all want to watch TV, we had one fucking TV with like 3 channels. You just watch the goddamn sitcoms.
Thank God my dad liked Home Improvement. No, not Home Improvement. God damn it. What? Married to Children. I was still looking at the images of him on Home Improvement. when I said that. Yeah, Married to Children, because eventually he got tired of it because it did after a while become the exact same episode over and over again. But I mean, my God.
So did you catch who is playing Wilson?
No.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. is Alfred from Batman the Animated Series, who is playing one of the bad guys in this.
Oh my God.
I like when I think of Alfred, like that Alfred is what is in my head.
Do you know
like,
what's even more incredible about that?
What's up?
Isn't Airport 1975 what Airplane is based on? Because he's in Airport 1975.
That's probably why they fucking had him in this movie. Then was as a callback.
Was he in Airplane?
I'll double check.
Oh, dude, that'd be incredible. He passed away recently, didn't? Nope, not recently. 10 years ago now.
Did you know he played Doc Ock in the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s?
No, I did not.
I did not remember that. Let's see.
Oh, he voiced him in the video game too. That means he was God damn it, I'm having a stroke. Octocarnage.
That happened to you last week too. I forgot what it was, but you had something that just like hot wired to your brain.
Fucking Porky Pig tonight.
Let's see. What year was Airplane? He was not an Airplane, it looks like.
Oh man, but yeah, he's in Airport 1975.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought that was cool because I fucking love him as Alfred, and I was like, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. I know that name, and I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, he's fucking Alfred.
He's oh my God, he's the fucking captain in Airport 1975 too. That means Captain Over is a parody of him. I just punched my microphone. Yeah, that guy's got some range if he can be Doc Ock and Alfred,
right?
And be two of the best characters in both of those shows.
So we've been speaking about 90s sitcoms a lot, and the one that I actually fucking liked was the Drew Carey Show, because the supporting characters and the supporting actors in the Drew Carey Show are fucking awesome. And one of them was Ryan goddamn Stiles. He plays.
I did not know that until tonight.
I loved him.
And now that I know that,
Drew Carey Show.
That image of him in the credits with the helmet and the antlers, I see it into the face in that helmet now.
Because like him, you know, I love Dietrich Bader too. So like him and Dietrich Bader being the buddies in the Drew Carey Show were like the first things that I was introduced to them on, and I love them. I think
Craig
it's like
Ferguson
Lewis.
Was his boss too.
Yeah,
That
great cast
in that show is nuts.
It's so good. It was Lewis and Oswald who were his buddies, and I fucking loved their dynamic because they're so fucking. Dietrich Bader and Ryan Stiles are fucking hysterical. They're like the funniest people on the planet. Because like Ryan Stiles, probably most well known for like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
Now, right?
Yeah. I know him from that and 2.5 Men. But what I think of first and foremost is probably, and I know people say that is actually like damaging to improv because it's not improv, but it's what people think of as improv. I fucking like to Whose Line Is It Anyway? That
if the show is good, who fucking cares about the semantics of improv comedy? It's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, he is incredible on that show.
He's so funny. But yeah, the fact that he survives just to get when he sees the sign, the like deer hunting season begins today or whatever.
His head movements is exactly like any video you've ever seen of a deer. Like,
why are you mad at me? He ate your father.
Dude, that scene is so funny because it's like, first off, in any movie about this kind of dynamic, it is they themselves, not my dad and your dad flew together and one killed the other. Oh, this is what a coincidence. My dad was the hunter. Wait, is that your mom? Like, wait, you and I were cousins. Like, it just keeps going. The one that shocked me, Jeff, did you realize that was Christy Swanson?
I did not.
Did you realize that was Buffy the goddamn Vampire Slayer?
I do love her character because it's
suck in that chest and then not knowing what to do, she just moves her shoulders back.
What does she say to Charlie Sheen? It's like, you're a great guy, and he's like, you too, or whatever. At the
you're quite a man or something.
you're quite a guy or something. Like, I forget what the line is, but it's just like and the fact that they never like touch on her character at all really is great.
Oh man,
it's super good. One of my favorite, probably like less quoted lines in this movie is when it's fucking Admiral Benson talking about when he drops his cap off the aircraft carrier.
Swing around, we'll go get it.
Yeah, he's like,
well, God damn it, put some food in the boat. Do I have to think of everything?
Yeah, he's like, they put some food in the life raft, for God's sake, man. I have to think of everything. We'll tape his favorite shows. He won't miss anything. I love that line so fucking much. God damn. Hey, Ron. What do you do with an elephant with 3 balls?
Wendy, I can fly. Again, nobody dies in a plane crash. They all die from accidents that happen after the plane crash.
I'm in a hospital. What's the worst that can happen?
The worst that can happen?
That hard cut to the graveyard might be one of the best like bits of comedic timing of all time.
Your ego's writing checks your body can't cash. Yeah, we need to hang on. We need to give a shout out real quick to Red Herring, played by Bruce A. Young, because he's the drill sergeant, and holy goddamn, is he good. Nurse, quit, check his penis. Is it longer than mine? No, doctor.
The doctor, dude. Can't be sure. Not a very good doctor.
I love how also Lloyd Bridges calls Dunn's character a different name every single time he says it. I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Phil. Not a fucking clue. I have a shell fragment the size of a fist in my head. Pork Chop Hill, 1953. The only way I can make this goddamn toupee stay onto my head is by magnetizing the entire upper left quadrant of my skull. So you just go ahead and do what you do. And he just walks off.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this movie, it's hard to talk about because it is so fast paced with the jokes that there are some like solid fucking jokes that you'll forget happen because there's just so fucking many. There's so much quantity to them. It's like I love the bit where they're talking about I think it's Block who's having the fighter pilots trying to get low to the ground, and he's like, I'm on fourth and Main. And it just hard cuts to him fucking on a city street like 5 feet above the ground. And I want to pull up a huge part of these movies that we don't give enough credit to is the editing. Because the editing is everything. Is so I'll pull the cast and crew because the editing in this is just like incredible. Jane Curson and Eric A. Sears are the editors for this, and so many of the jokes in this movie like work because of the editing. So it's like fucking well done.
Dude, can we talk about? Hang on. God, that's loud. My ear canals are very sensitive. They're stainless steel. Took a bullet in, I don't know how to say this, Corregidor, 1945. Passed straight through my head, one ear out the other. Here, look at this. And that's when he does the handkerchief through his ears. And then, sir, we use these to hold down the sound, sir. And hands him the earplugs. Oh, good. Thanks. And he pops them like they're pills and swallows them. Let's hope they do the trick.
It's so good. That is probably one of the most airplane jokes to me in the whole movie is him with the earplugs. I found some beautiful soul screenshotted the image of Charlie Sheen as the electrocuted skeleton, and that is a front runner for Twitter profile picture now. I love it.
Also, you know how all these movies, these types of like military movies, like the glory days of the military movies, and even all the way down to like Jaws, always had that weird like dinner scene. I love the scene when Lloyd Bridges like, oh, by the way, thanks for having us over for dinner the other night. Cheryl and I thought the stroganoff was marvelous, but sir, we didn't have dinner the other night. Really? Where the hell was I? And who's this Cheryl? That doesn't matter. Just sends him. Oh, his cigarette case is full of carrots like he's goddamn Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
What?
I also forgot about the fucking sequence when they're doing the blood transfusion and the
And the
guy
guy
just
just
deflates. It's so good.
Well, it's like enemy aircraft at 12 o'clock. Really? 12 o'clock? Oh, that gives us about 25 minutes. I think I'll step out for a burger.
Dude, the thing they show right before the credits of the people who have died and they switch to Elvis is the last thing you see.
Yes.
It's fucking fantastic.
The king is gone, Topper. Let it go. I thought I saw
It's
Elvis.
too good. It's too good. When they're driving, I'm now scrolling through the IMDb photos to make sure I don't forget shit. But when they're driving in the ambulance going off-roading and they just have 1,000 pounds of medical supplies
Falling on
shifting
dead
around
meat.
the ambulance. Oh my god, it's too good.
I just love in the poster Lloyd Bridges is wearing a khaki tutu.
Also, one of the most underrated jokes that is fantastic, but you forget because of the quantity of jokes. Is when he tells the wife of Deadbeat to turn away and don't look, and they've pulled the giant mirror behind them so she sees it anyway. It's so good.
I love. Hang on, I'm gonna drop this picture in the Discord. There's a lot to unpack here. They don't let you copy pictures, so I need the snipping tool.
There are 1,000 images in the IMDb photos that could be Twitter profile pictures from this movie.
I think I found one. I think I found my next one.
I found one that is the fisheye. Charlie Sheen.
That's the one that's up
image.
in OBS right now as we're recording.
Yeah,
this.
it's so good.
Let's see. I forgot how to operate the snipping tool. Okay. Copy. Dude, check this out. We need to talk about this. I love John Cryer with the football. And then I love the guy in the back row with the jacket over his shoulder like he's MacGyver or like the Fall Guy or something.
Yeah.
But the best one is going to be Carrie Elwes with the scarf on a string. That's blowing
Glorious.
Christy
I love it so
Swanson is
much.
just being covered up by everybody. So you
Pretty
can't even
much.
see her. But in front of Carrie Elwes is the guy holding his shirt open like he's Superman with no uniform underneath.
I love
Dead Meat showing his ass to the camera is pretty good.
speaking of Superman, when they do the fucking Superman
The
scene, and he
dove.
has a T. He has a T on his chest
For
for
Topper.
his name instead of Superman.
I love he can't get the dove off of his finger.
Yeah,
He's just violently shaking the dove.
it's so good.
I love
I
everything
was-
about this image.
It's so good. I was laughing my ass off throughout 90% of this movie, dude.
It's so good. To the point that I had to rewind some of the jokes to hear the full line.
Because you were laughing over
Because I
them.
was laughing over them. I love this during the Only You song moment when it cuts to him as Rocky, just Ramada.
They even took the fucking time to do the prosthetics for his eyes.
His
like
eyes. It
where
looks
he
like he
can't
belongs on
fucking
Event
see.
Horizon.
he does. Oh fuck.
When Ramada is crushed into the bed like a Looney Tune. There's just a Ramada shaped hole in the bed.
I've also someone in the photos has the what's Ryan Stiles' character's name? Where
Mailman?
he has the mailman with the antlers on his helmet. Someone has an image of that from before the credits, and that is also worthy of being a Twitter profile picture.
There's also an image of him when his head's mounted on the wall in the photo.
I love it.
But one of my favorite subtle jokes that they literally just gloss over because he flies a plane through it is the billboard of the two people smoking, and it just says "Smoke, nobody lives forever."
Oh fuck.
Oh god. No, okay, so him being electrocuted, I love the build up to that because he's sitting there reading Psychology Today, the swimsuit edition, of course. And there's this electrician that comes up, sets up a ladder. He has these insulated gloves on, and he's got a whole bunch of conduit draped around one shoulder. The other shoulder, he has all this wiring. He's got all this protection on. and he carries it all up the ladder, and just reaches up and starts unscrewing a single light bulb. And even Topper's looking at him like, what the hell? And then he goes in, talks to Ramada, and you have forgotten that this has happened by the end of the scene with Ramada. And when he opens the door and he's arguing with her in the background, there's just dangling wires everywhere that are sparking.
Yeah, it's I love what they did with his hair too.
Dude, when after he gets electrocuted, you see his skeleton flashing in the window. Which, by the way, what a great way to do that effect, because when he closes the door, it literally gives them a place to go in and just animate that real quick. They don't have to do any special effects. And then when she opens the door and his hair's all smoking and he's all black like a Looney Tune or whatever, he's all burnt up and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then that one sparks in front of him, he's just like,
I sent you a text. I don't know if you saw this in the photos, but someone took a photo of one of the scene selection and like menu options for one of the DVDs or Blu-rays for this, and it's Lloyd Bridges as he's stepping out of the plane, and I adore that this was the image for the DVD main menu.
Oh god, so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's so much funnier than I remember. I'm excited for us to. I'm assuming you're probably gonna have the sequel to this on the show pretty soon, because that was your main reasoning for picking this one.
Yeah, and we can't cover a sequel without covering the original. This is our show. We do whatever we want, but we do whatever we want. But we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's fucking
I'll
chaos,
do anything
man.
for podcasting, Jeff, but I won't do that.
With this, I enjoyed this one so much. I'm really excited to watch part 2 because it's been a minute and I love this show. I remember so many more sequences from that versus this.
No, I've seen 2. It must be 200 times more than the first one. The second one. The second one's more up my wheelhouse with all the dumb like 80s action movies that it's making fun of, rather than this one. Like I said, I've never even seen Top Gun, and I've never seen Rambo or anything, but I've seen a goddamn action movie. You know, like I get what they're getting at. I get the jokes in it a lot better. And it's an action movie. Like, again, it just works as an action movie. And then you throw in the occasional war. It's fantastic.
I love Miguel Ferrer, dude. Love that dude.
Occasionally you shoot a chicken from your bow, or you had the kill count going on when you have the goddamn Gatling gun.
Yeah, we'll get to it here soon. I think
Saddam with a goddamn lightsaber. By the way, we should mention in 2, Lloyd Bridges' character is now president, which may be too close to real life at this point. But
I think I've kind of touched on everything I had.
What a goddamn whiplash going from Furiosa to Hot Shots. I love this movie, and I'm really happy to see that it holds up to my memory, because a lot of times you remember something being a lot better than it is just because it loomed so large at the time. I do that a lot with video games sometimes. Like, this doesn't look or play nearly as good as I remember it.
Oh yeah, video games are so volatile when it comes to, especially like how they get better over time, as far as like how they control and stuff. For the most part, it's hard to go back.
Diablo 2 remastered looks exactly the way I remember Diablo 2 originally looking, but if you go back and look at Diablo 2, it is rough. But yeah, I'm really happy to see that this holds up exactly the way I remember it from
comedy is also very volatile. A lot of comedy does not work outside of the context of like when it was released.
Well, not only that, like, art is subjective and tastes change, right? I might have loved this as a kid, but it may not have landed for me, no pun intended, as an adult. But yeah. I'm really happy I had it on the show. I'm really happy that you still love it as much as I do.
It's so good.
It's such a good movie.
Also, it's 85 fucking minutes long. Like, just go watch it.
Yeah.
You do like
it's over in a probably
flash.
Already have Hulu. Just go watch it.
Yeah, it's such a quickly
Part
paced
does on
movie.
Hulu too, by the way.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, here's a question too. So I watched this on Disney Plus because I have like the bundle thing.
Okay.
It's just the entirety of Hulu available on
Yes.
Disney Plus.
Yes.
So I never have to pull up Hulu again because that makes me happy because I don't want to fucking pull up Hulu again.
Nope, you never have to. I completely forgot I could have opened Disney Plus and watched it. But yeah.
It's also, I love the fact that Hot Shots is on Disney Plus. Just the idea of that is fucking great.
I mean, Hulu is like a conglomeration of movie studios that don't have their own streaming apps. That now a lot of them do, but like it is owned partially by a ton of different companies. But like Disney has like the controlling interest or something. They have a
Yeah, because Hulu was owned by Fox.
Yeah.
And FX, and then when Disney bought out Fox, they also
they already had a stake
acquired.
to begin with, and then they bought out Fox and acquired all of Fox's ownership as well. So they basically own. They can't own Hulu, but they basically own Hulu, and have integrated it into Disney Plus, which I totally forgot about. For a while, there was like a beta version of that. It was like some of the stuff. There was like stuff that was also available on Hulu and Disney Plus, but I think like a month or so ago, or 2 months ago, probably, they just integrated all of it.
Exactly. I'm super glad that. I also appreciate, Just Watch.
Yes.
For listing this as being part of that bundle, because that's what made me realize I can just watch it on Disney Plus instead of having to pull up. Like, I do not fucking like the interface of Hulu. It is so janky.
I don't like the interface of any of them. Hulu is bad. It's not as bad as HBO though.
HBO, dude, fast forwarding on HBO makes me want to fucking kill somebody. Like they don't have like super mega fast forward. I'm trying to prepare to fast forward, sir. Like let me prepare to fast forward, please. And it's just not like you have to just like
too slow.
It's just like we can't fast forward. It's too dangerous. So I gotta fucking fast forward at 10 seconds per like fucking minute of holding the button. It's like, bro, fuck out of here. Give me some scene selection skipping or something.
Can you
fuckers?
So on IMDb, you can make watch lists and you can make them public. So like someone can go look up my list that I run on IMDb of all the movies we've covered in order. Does Just Watch do that? Because I just noticed they have lists.
Maybe
because I could make that same watch list again and Just Watch, and people can literally just click on the movie and see where to watch it.
So like my list of like potential stuff I want to have on the show is just in like an Apple Notes thingy.
I literally have an IMDb watch list for that.
Yeah, you're way more like legit with that. I have never curated a list of anything when it comes to that in my life. I've never set up a list on IMDb or like any of these apps or sites or anything.
It just makes it easier and more searchable for me. If I want to go by an actor or by a movie or whatever, or a genre, I don't have to curate it myself. I can just look at it.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Because a lot of what I pick, your stuff is a lot more consistent. Mine's kind of all over the map because I go by like kind of like, I don't know. I'm not really feeling this or that. I'm kind of feeling more like it's more of a Hot Shots day for me right now. You know, I go more by that. You're a lot.
Well, it's yeah. It seems like you kind of like alternate between like this is like a comedy I really like, and this is like a kind of under the radar movie that you think I would like.
Yeah,
that seems to be kind of like my stuff is it's like consistent, but then like not at the same time. If you kind of like scroll back through like some of the stuff I've picked, like there's a lot of like horror stuff obviously, but some of it is like a little bit more like off the wall. I don't know. I think we have done like a pretty good job of adding variety to it, to where we don't, just always cover, like, oh, we're just like a horror movie show, like we do like a little bit of everything. I like the variety of it. Like, what the fuck have we had the last like you said, switching between Furiosa and Hot Shots.
Fucking whiplash, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it looks like, I don't know how public or searchable it is, but it looks like you can make lists on Just Watch, and it does have a share link to that list. You click share, and it copies it to your clipboard.
There you go.
I could recreate that IMDb list in here. I don't know if there's a way to like follow a list or whatever, but yeah, if anyone has a Just Watch account, they could literally just click on it and see where to watch it. our entire back catalog.
Speaking of the back catalog, if we didn't already say, we have covered Airplane on the show before, so it's episode 79. If you wanted to hear more of Ron and I talking about this type of parody, this type of comedy that we're into, and unfortunately are beginning to run out of when it comes to covering these for the show, because what do we have left? We have like Young Frankenstein, we have Blazing Saddles.
Evidently, I swear to God we covered that, but I can't find it anywhere. So
yeah, we did not cover Blazing Saddles because it's been forever since I've seen it.
Did you and I watch it before we did this show?
I don't think so, because I haven't seen it in so long. I don't remember much of it.
I've seen it fairly recently.
I think you watched it when you were watching that Mel Brooks documentary. I think you watched it as like a tie-in.
Maybe
that, if I remember.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I mean, I don't know why I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I watched it then, because I mean, it's a fucking good movie and everybody should watch it.
It's Blazing fucking Saddles.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I watched it.
You don't have to explain yourself. It's a good movie. Yeah, this was your pick, Ron. Did you have anything else about Hot Shots you wanted to touch on before we kind of sign off for the day?
No, I know this episode, much like the Airplane episode, was just us fucking quoting it, but this movie is a mile a minute. You gotta fucking watch it. There's no explaining this movie to someone. You know, the whole premise of the show is hopefully you've watched it before you listen to us talk about it, so you know what we're talking about. But it's just one of those things you just got to go see it. It's a visual medium, and this is a very visual movie. So there's not a lot to talk about. It's a spoof of Top Gun. That's pretty much all you can say without just sitting here talking about your favorite gags, because this movie's one gag after another. But it's so good. It's got so much depth to the jokes that a lot of modern comedies just don't have. That's why I don't really seek out comedies anymore. I like movies with comedy in them, but I can't just go find something listed straight up as a comedy, because I just don't care. These types of movies have ruined me on the modern day ones. They're just so much better.
Yeah, the modern day comedy is pretty bleak, because they've transitioned it to be purely instead of these people making comedies that they want to make, and they're like very, very specific in the matter of like how Airplane and Hot Shots, like they're very specific in the way they work as a comedy. Everything is just like built for the lowest common denominator to make box office sales now, and that's like what comedy's become. It's like a fucking machine to make money. It's not anybody actually enjoying these movies they're making.
Comedy used to be the rock and roll genre of Hollywood, right? So rock and roll music is famous for taking whatever the issue of the day, whatever the headline is of the day, whatever the politics are of the day, and choosing a fucking side, right? You've got a lot of anti-war, like protest songs, anti-establishment songs, things like that. Comedy used to take things that are happening and roll them into it and make a goddamn statement, you know? Police Academy, like I said, was making a statement, all things good and bad about police and all things involving police. Things like that. And that's just kind of gone. Modern day comedies don't have any meaning or purpose behind what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
They're just kind of aimless, and you feel it. They're
so cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to appease everybody, and I understand that it's probably difficult to make them now, because I don't know, like with an action movie, right? Like technology can improve over time, and like special effects, and it's like the logistics of making the movie have gotten better as time has gone on. But with like comedy, you just have to have good writing and good performances. You know, it's one of those things where it's like there's nothing,
I think, part of
logistically like helping them. They just have to sit down and write and make a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
They're stuck. And most of the time they're phoning them in, because Hollywood looks at them as the cheapest ways to make money because they don't have special effects. It's like the entirety of the budget for comedies is for the cast. That's why you had like 1,200 Melissa McCarthy movies.
Yeah.
And it's like it was like the entire budget was just getting her because they were just they're taking the fucking script and it's Control C Control Ving Melissa McCarthy or all these people that are just like the handful of people that are the only mainstays in comedy for like a decade at a time, and that's it. That's the genre. It's pretty bleak.
Yeah, they I think part of it also why you don't see them anymore is studios don't take risks like they used to on a movie or a creator or a script. They have to have it down to have like a guaranteed return. That's why, even though they're not, but that's why you get so many, like, come on. Is there any reason why we couldn't just make a movie that starred fucking Ryan Gosling and what's her name instead of making The Fall Guy? Do you know anyone that talks about The Fall Guy, Jeff?
No.
Do you know anyone that actually watched The Fall Guy? Why couldn't we just make a movie that starred Ryan Gosling that was kind of the premise of The Fall Guy, but call it something new and do something more creative with it? Why did it have to be The Fall Guy? Now, I haven't seen that movie. I've been told via various podcasters that I actually trust in their movie taste that movie is incredibly underrated and you shouldn't listen to any of the reviews on it, that movie's actually really fun and really good.
It reviewed well. It has 81%.
Eddie Pence, who's a stand-up comedian and podcaster I listen to, who really likes that TV show, says it's not The Fall Guy, but he didn't care watching it. The movie's so fun. But
that's good.
You know what that tells
like
me, though, is that they went on that movie because it's The Fall Guy and then failed because they missed the mark. If it's nothing like The Fall Guy, it may be a good movie, but it's like you still fucked up what you were trying to do. Just have it be a different movie and call it something else, You know
what I think, like the last like comedy
Baywatch is another good example of that, but yeah.
I think the last comedy that just like fired on all cylinders of like what I want was The Nice Guys.
Oh man.
Because The Nice Guys is like fucking hysterical.
It has has things to say. It has things to say about its genre. It's firing jokes off like crazy, but it's not a parody. It's nothing like this. It's nothing like Hot Shots. But it works as just a movie. It works as a comedy. It works as action.
It's a great buddy cop movie, even taking the comedy out of it. Even if it was like serious, like there's a good if you took out all the comedy in that movie, it's still a good fucking movie because the performances are good. The mystery is good. I absolutely love that movie. It's a shame that it feels like Shane Black and like Edgar Wright are the only people making movies in this entire genre that I used to love, and I just don't see very many of these anymore. That's a shame because there's usually just nothing that's a draw. I don't know. I hope, like we've talked about, everything goes in waves. Eventually superheroes will fade away, and I think eventually maybe we'll get back to like a new era of comedy where it comes back, but
you got to cash in, Jeff. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
We'll see. It's been pretty bad for about 20 years. It's not been looking good.
Yeah, all of this is to say we've done 101 episodes to say I'm really looking forward to Project Hail Mary, dude.
I cannot freaking wait.
I want that movie. And I won it yesterday.
Just real quickly, just because we have a segue opportunity. Speaking of Project Hail Mary and Andy Weir, the next episode, Ron, is going to be over The Martian.
Really?
Which is funny that you mentioned that because we had talked over text a little bit about Project Hail Mary because they just officially announced that it was filming. I wanted to talk about The Martian.
I was literally just about to say The Martian is on my short list, but I was saving it for when we get a release date closer to Project Hail Mary.
Well, fuck your plans because we'll cover it next time. Because I recently finished the audiobook for Project Hail Mary. It only took me like 17 years, but I eventually did finish it. Loved it. have been kind of jonesing to watch The Martian again, because I think The Martian might be one of like the very best novel adaptations I've seen. I think it's underrated, even though The Martian was like well received commercially and critically and everything. I still think it's underrated.
Yes.
To me.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm excited to talk about it. Might actually run through like the book again, because I only read the book the one time and adored it, but I've only read it once.
Oh,
You've
dude.
listened to the audiobook of it like 1,200 times, it seems like.
Yeah, it's in my regular rotation. When I run out of podcasts, which I recently resubscribed to Duckfeed TV, so it's going to be another 3-4 years before I run out of podcasts. But yeah, when I run out of podcasts or run out of audiobooks, I have a regular set that I roll through. 13th Warrior, Eaters of the Dead being one of them. And goddamn, The Martian, Artemis, and Project Hail Mary are all three in there. And
yeah, I fucking love Andy Weir.
Rumor has it we could be getting Artemis also.
Well, it's been like thrown out as an idea for it. Is it like a show they're wanting to make for it now, or a movie? Yeah, I can't keep track, but it feels like it's been talked about being adapted for a while. Okay. I think you could kind of do either way. I think you could also do like a little 6-episode kind of mini series on it too.
Yeah, 6, 8, something like that would do it.
I think it could work either way. But it's absolutely gonna be adapted at some point. Like the Andy Weir stuff is too good to not be adapted. But The Martian is unfortunately not streaming on any of the major streaming services. It is available on. I think I own it too. It is available on TNT, which I didn't even know was a streaming service.
Wow.
And TBS, which I also didn't know was a streaming service, and True TV. So there you go. Outside of those, you can rent it at the usual suspects like Apple and Amazon and shit for like $3 or $4. So there you go.
Okay, so evidently they're talking about the chicken, but I was on Twitter just now. Camilla is trending, and I was like, the vampire? But no, apparently it's the chicken from the Muppets. I don't know why.
Gotcha.
I just know it. Just know it is. I just want to throw that out there.
The more you know.
The more you know. Do.
If you would like to follow the show more, we are on Twitter. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter right now.
Yeah, there you go. It's the fucking wasteland, isn't it? Isn't it horrible?
It is.
Every day I get on Twitter, I question my decision making. I'm not gonna lie. If you found us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. It always helps the channel grow. Drop a fucking comment in there for us, man.
I'm sorry. I just have to throw this out there too, to make it topical. Evidently, there's a new Supergirl design, and everyone's comparing her to Android 18. It's a fucking ripoff of Android 18. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm actually curious about that. You gotta send it to me, and I'll take a look at it. But yeah. If you have any comments or questions you'd like to discuss with Ryan and myself, we always have a Q&A section at the beginning of each episode. Holy fuck, it is Android 18. Even the color palette of like the clothing.
It's her exact clothes. I don't know if she has the yellow socks or not, but it's goddamn Android 18.
It's like now she doesn't she have like a full kind of
if you open that
jacket?
If you open that tweet, that tweet has them side by side.
Oh, okay. I'm pulling it up. Let's see. Holy shit.
It's goddamn Android 18. Apparently there's a new Toonami. Is Toonami still a thing?
I think so.
Tune in to Toonami on Saturday, June 15th at midnight to catch a brand new episode of My Adventures with Superman Season 2. And it's Supergirl. And Android 18 is trending. Because they just totally ripped off 18.
That's insane.
I don't blame them. I like 18,
it's fucking,
but
yeah, I do too. But it's fucking shameless.
Anyways, I just wanted to get your take on that on Mike.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, holy shit. Let's see. Ron, where can people find you when you're not on the podcast?
When I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah.
When I'm not on Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at RonSenseTV, also on YouTube and Twitch, which I think I might be pivoting a little bit more to Twitch. It turns out it's difficult to record the YouTubes when the kids aren't in school. So my YouTube is probably going to slow down, and then I will probably do more live streams and then just post those to YouTube. Because I usually record in batches during the day, and I've gotten used to doing it during the day. It is difficult to do it at night now. I just don't feel like I have enough energy to make it interesting.
Especially when you get into a rhythm like that with this, like a recording schedule, it's really hard to break out of the schedule.
Yeah, so I think I might do more live stuff, and then I always archive those on YouTube, so those will go to YouTube. You can follow me in either one, but if you want to catch me live, it will be whenever I say on Twitter over on Twitch. So yeah,
these fucking names, dude. This goddamn website.
This is what it's like to be any kind of creator in 2024.
Sigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow me on YouTube, but go to Twitter to find out when I'm going to be on Twitch. That's the way it is now.
There you have it. Yeah, check out The Martian if you haven't, because The Martian is legitimately great. Even if you've seen the movie, read the book, because the book's even fucking better. And I love that movie, but the Martian novel might be my favorite book.
It's crazy how close it follows. It is almost exact, and the changes and omissions that the movie has make total sense to change and or omit.
It's like the very first time I have ever watched an adaptation of like a book that I adore, and there wasn't a single thing that made me like question the decision making. It was just all like flawless, just perfectly executed.
Was that Drew Goddard?
Yeah, Drew Goddard wrote it, and Ridley Scott directed it.
Oh man, you're calling my name.
I can't wait to like an Andy Weir book being overseen by Lord and Miller with Project Hail Mary is such a good match too. I am so excited for that. And I love Gosling, so I'm so excited. I think he's a great. Is it Grace? Is that the main character's name?
Yes. Yeah, Ryland Grace.
Love it.
And there's
cannot fucking wait.
Without going into any kind of spoilers, there is something in that book that I cannot wait to see how they handle, because I'm trying to imagine.
As far as the marketing?
Well, not just the marketing, but for the movie too. Like, I'm trying to figure out how you would even go about handling it,
Yeah, I will also be curious to see like what is conveyed in the marketing as far as
the audiobook handles the thing I'm talking about incredibly well, but that doesn't necessarily work in a movie. So
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be a wrap. So be sure to watch The Martian. We'll be back in a couple of weeks for that. Again, welcome everyone that has been joining the YouTube over the last few weeks. We really appreciate everyone hopping on board the podcast.
If you found us on YouTube, but don't normally take your podcast through YouTube, we are also available several other places. So
yep,
you just search your podcast catcher for Screenplay Rewind. We should show up.
Yeah, on Apple, Spotify, all
if we are not somewhere that you would like to find us, let me know, either an email or a comment or whatever, or tweet, and I will look into what it takes to get over there, because most of the time it's as simple as creating a login and saying, yes, this is my podcast, and then it shows up. That was something I had to do that for. They had it. They just weren't playing it because they were like scraping Apple Podcasts. I forget the name of it. I told you before we started that it's a fucking weird website. It's like radio something radio. They had our podcast, but it wasn't live because we hadn't signed up to claim it. So I signed up and claimed it, and then it was live. I was like, okay, cool. Bye. Nice. I've never logged in again.
I'll never look at this platform again.
So.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's pretty easy to do those things. So you can always just let us know. And if you just prefer YouTube like I do most of the time, again, welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, be sure to check back in a couple weeks when we cover The Martian, and while you're out, bring us a couple of AA batteries. Have a good night, everybody.